Today we're going to look at percentage. We're going to do 2 days of percentage, so the first day is just kind of an introduction. And percentage is a way that we can actually compare values. So for example, grades. You could receive 90% on a test. The meaning of percentage is to be out of 100. So percent really just means per 100, or we can use our symbol, which is percent there. So if you score 90% on your test, we could write this as 90%, and cent just means per 100. So 90 per 100, or we can even make the comparison 90 per 100. These are all just comparisons. Alright, so we're going to do some examples. If you received 6 out of 10 on your last test, what would your percentage be? Well, with percentage, we want to know, we want to be able to compare it. We want to know what you got out of 100. So we need to change this so that it becomes per 100 or percent, or we could say, actually we don't even need the percentage there, we just need the percentage sign. So if you got 6 out of 10, then all we're saying is what did you get out of 100? Well, that's pretty easy to do. I'm sure you can see it right now, but multiply the top and the bottom by 10, and we get 60 out of 100. So you would get 60 per 100, or we could say you got 60 per 100, or you could say 60%, or finally 60%. Okay. What about if we have decimals and we want to write them as a percentage? Well, remember that every decimal, every number, in fact, is out of 1. And I want to know what 0.75 is out of 100, because remember percentage is percent per 100. Okay, so notice that if I multiply the top and the bottom by 100, 1 times 100 is 100, and 0.75 multiplied by 100 is 75. So if you had 0.75, your percentage would be 75%. Okay. Now, what about if you had 0.002? Well, again, any number can be written over 1. So I want to know as a percentage. So again, percent means percent or per 100. So notice if I multiply the top and the bottom by 100, well, 1 multiplied by 100 is 100, and 0.002 multiplied by 100, it's going to move over 2 decimal places, so we get 0.2. So that means we have 0.2 per 100, 0.2%. Alright. Now what about if I want to know what 2 is? Well, again, it's just 2 over 1, and I want to know what the number is per 100. So if I multiply the bottom by 100, I also multiply the top by 100. 2 multiplied by 100 is 200, so I have 200 per 100, 200% or 200%. Alright, so I feel like this is pretty easy stuff. Now what about if we have fractions? Express the following as a percent. Well, going from 7 over 8 to something over 100, it's pretty difficult to see what that fraction is going to be. So why don't we use what we just did with decimals? We know how to find decimals. We do long division. So whenever we have fractions, our first step is always going to be convert to a decimal, and then we're going to convert to percentage. Alright, so what I have is 7 divided by 8. Well, 7 doesn't go into 8, so I'll put my decimal down, I'm going to pull in a 0 there, and we can get pretty close to 70, but not quite. 8 times 8 is 64. We have 6 as a remainder. And then if I put in another 0 and pull that down, again, it gets pretty close. 8 times 7 is 54, and, sorry, 56. And there's 4 remaining. Well, notice that 8 does go into 45 times. So I get that this is equal to 0.875. Okay, well, let's do what we did in the last one. Now that I have a decimal, remember that any number can be written over 1. So all I'm doing is I'm multiplying this by 100. And if I multiply by 100, we're moving it over 2 decimals because of the 2 zeros. So I get 87.5. So that means that I have 87.5 per 100, or 87.5%, which can be written as 87.5%. Alright, 2 and a quarter. Now you can do it 2 ways. You might want to convert it into an improper fraction. What I notice is that this is a pretty easy fraction. I right away know that that's a quarter. If you're not sure, do the long division way, put it into an improper fraction, and then do long division. But I think by this point we know that 1 divided by 4 is equal to 0.25. So that means that I get 2 and a quarter is 2.25. So again, I've converted it to a decimal, and now I'm going to convert it to a percentage. So 2.25 over 1 is equal to, I'm changing it to a percentage, so I'm multiplying by 100, and I'm going to move this over 2 decimal places, 1, 2, so I get 225. So this is 225 per 100, 225 per, remember 100 means cent, which is just 225, and the percentage symbol. What you should notice is as long as it's in a decimal, all I'm doing is multiplying by 100 to get 225. And because this is 225 per 100, we say that this is 225%. Okay, well what if I want to go backwards? What if I want to express the following percent as a decimal? Alright, so we have 8%, which is just 8%, or 8 per 100. And I can write this as 8 per 100. Now, we should know by now, we're just moving the decimal over 2 places. So this is equal to decimal 0.8. Alright, next one. So we have 25.2%, which is 25.2%, which, remember, cent just means per 100, which is 25.2 per 100. All I'm going to do is I'm going to move the decimal over 2 places. So here I get decimal 0.252. Alright, last one. This is 200 per cent, 200 per 100, which is just 200 over 100. And again, we're just moving the decimal over 2 places by doing this. So it's going 1, 2, and I get 2. You might also just see right now, you can just reduce the top and the bottom by 100 and you get 2. And that is all.